this light one first. We gotta do it. I will think up an interesting mechanism and I'll follow it through the haze. I've never been to the side of the cosmos before, but I'm sure it will amaze. Take me away to a planet where nobody else exists. I have never been to, though I've never been one to resist. Let's take a trip together in spirit while I stay at home for the holidays. I've never been out in the sun for so long before, not in its main sequence phase. Take me away to a planet where no one has ever survived. I am a whore, you know. I'm a whore, and I live in a hive. Let's take a trip with each other into my world of source material and negatives. I've never been so uncomfortable surrounded in non-determinatives. Just take a second. Just take a second. I'm 30 years old. I'm fucking 30 years. Jesus Christ, I'm 30 fucking 4 years old and I've never been this old before. Etc. Have overused my ellipses analogously and to the minutes once more. Everything is an effort to delay what is happening and to downplay what's been done. If you could look at the earth from where our sight comes from, you, my friend, would be on the sun. And if there were anything more I could do to confuse the remaining relays, I'd tell you I love you. I'd think of it personally and I'd paraphrase. Let's take one more trip together. Help me to my room through a million hallways. Take me behind the liquor store and leave me lying in a heap in the haze. I'm getting wheezy. What's with the wheezy shit? Hear that? Whatever the fuck. I don't know. Where were the eggs from? And where have they gone? Could they have hatched that fast? Would something have eaten them? And if so, what then? Oh, little cunt, roll. Oh, little slave. It's so hard to come back from the grave. What have I done to everyone? I guess I deserve servitude. I mean to serve everyone. Oh, little insect. Oh, little bug. It's so hard to come back from the drugs. A little shrug. I know I've been warned. A little bump and it's formed a little chug and I know I'm yours and a little blood and it went warm. A little blood and it went warm. And a little shrug and I know I've been warmed and just a little bump and I know it's formed a little chug and I know I'm yours and a little blood and it went warm and a little blood and it went warm and a little blood and it went warm and just a little blood and I want more and come to hell. Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. Welcome to the swarm. What's been buzzing in your ears? What's it keep trying to suck from your neck? Where do I ever go from here? And which one of you little fuckers is next? As frustrating as it can be now, I know everything. As frustrating as it can be now, I know everything. I'm too damn smart for my own good. I know fucked it all up again. I'm too damn smart for my own good. Fucked it all up again. I'm too damn smart for my own good, and I fucked it all up again. Just like I knew I would. Did I choke you up? Well, you spit me up to follow. You must be joking. Come on. You must be joking. Come on. Did I choke you up? Yeah, well, you must just be joking. Did I choke you up? Yeah, well, you must just be joking. You're a pain to all the me. You're my everything. You're at the end of all my silly dreams. You are imaginary. You are arbitrary. You are so much worse than you seem. You took my whole world and you crammed it right down into yours. And I bled you for evermore. I am still here in a mess on the floor. I can still hear you crashing ashore. I can still feel you up there from 6 feet under my. Still sweat you like you do from your every pore. I won't forget you because I know you won't forget me. I am dying. Jesus Christ. Alright, there. Teddy bear. Come on, buddy. Oh, this is Sammy. Here's our Sam. Come on, Sam. Come on in, girl. Oh, little girl. Little baby girl. I thought it was going to be a teddy. Get some of that shit going on. There you go. There you go, Sammy. That's a good Sam. It all comes down to this. In the passing of a finite hour, and nothing is relative to the highest power. The highest art form, and on the wildest whim, by the tightest wound introvert around, the science is grim. What little pittance of a grip we've got on what we live in. If it's a playground in my brain, then it's poorly maintained. If it's a playground in my brain, then it's poorly maintained. In the water park this summer, I can let it slide. For thoughts, the universe around us are the same. The coil of chaos that my nerves are come untied. It all started off so great, and it all comes down to this. Now, I made it in early and I stayed in late, and it all ends in a broken vow somehow. I waited my turn, then I sat down and ate, and it all comes down to some dumb fucking bait. And it all started out so great. Now watch as I devolve right back into an ape. You all know I came in early, and I stayed really, really, really fucking late. And it all comes down to this now. I stayed up studying, I did all the extra work, I aced my final exam, and I was even sociable, and it all comes down to this now. I did it all with a smile on my face, I did it great, and I basically raped life in its face, and it all comes down to this now. How the fuck? Though I live alone in the shadow of my lot in this life, my spirit does not. I may be on my own in the shadow of my lot in this life, but my spirit is not. It is tormented by my every thought. God himself couldn't help me to regain control. I sold my body on the same city streets as my soul. It makes no difference if it's weakness or a disease. It's going to beat me the way with ease. It makes no difference. No, not in the least. If it comes with its claws out or its teeth, though I live alone in the shadow of defeat, I won't mistake the quiet for peace. Even God himself couldn't reach down and pull me out of this hole. I sold my body on the same city streets as my soul. As sure as it's hurting me, it'll encircle me perfectly. The burden comes mercilessly to the ends of the earth with me. Certainly, this must be an emergency. It's becoming precursory. I require it urgently. I fucking thirst for it. And as sure as it sickens me, it'll stick with me cyclically. It's been with me intimately since the beginning of history. It prescribed itself clinically to my insides umbilically. I subscribe to it biblically. I require it critically. I'm fucking addicted. Well, it's done. And I can't go back. I'm stuck. And I miss it, and I'm shit out of luck. I liked it. I loved it. I took way too much of it, and I miss it, and everything else sucks. Even God himself couldn't help me reclaim my life. I spent too long doing wrong to do right. Even God himself couldn't help me to reclaim my life. I spent too long doing wrong to do right. I spent too long doing wrong to do enough right. Fuck. He wanted it to be clean. He believed in being prepared. He fancied himself a machine. He cared. It was a trap all along, and everyone seen it coming, but it didn't matter. The phone call was to the ambulance. He wanted them to be the first to find him. The plastic was for the mess, in case anything really might happen behind him. In case there is an after, a rest of the extraordinary afternoon when the grass didn't stop growing. But the grass did stop growing, and he'd known it would because he'd thought about it for such a long time. But it didn't matter. The checklist was framed like a picture on his wall. The note that accompanied the evidence said it all. The door was unlocked and the furniture was staged. The force of the gunshot had been meticulously gauged, and the afternoon did disappear. But the sun never set. The only thing limitless became a vacuous void. Everything disappeared. If he'd lived just a second longer, he'd have seen it himself. Nothing but him is all there ever was to begin with. It didn't matter. The grit that it took could have filled up a book. The ease with which it happened was nothing like he'd imagined. The look of the body was almost ungodly if it weren't for attraction and passion and his action. Only his action. By what he'd like to have put a period behind his will. But it still didn't matter. Only his action, only his will could have brought upon such a change. If only he'd imagined the scope and the range. Now only random particles bouncing off one another out in space might ever meet each other like that as they're tailing off without a trace. The universe emptied out at the same time as his pen, and suddenly somebody like him never existed again. Ever again. And it was clean, because he was prepared, and he was a machine, and he cared. He controlled it all in a flash, but it never mattered.